If you're just joining us now, I am the host. The lines are open. Listeners, friends, messengers from the beyond, as you know, I encourage complete honesty from my callers, and I in turn advise you with the full prismatic spectrum of my wisdom. So in this spirit, I wanted to share with you a criticism I received from my producer. She told me I was too woo-woo for the advertisers. I know, listeners, I can sense your dismay over the airwaves, but fear not. Your host will never kowtow to the almighty dollar and risk the trust we've built low these many years. Let's take another call, shall we? Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, and I hope you can help me, host with the most ghost toast. Oh, God, why? Who says shit like that? I want to kill myself.
Oh, no, caller. Death is never the answer unless one is already dead.
Yes, and I might as well be if I can't get my funny back.
You're funny? Please elaborate.
Yes, my funny, and was a sketch comedian in Chicago. I used to be the funniest in my group, and now it's just gone. It's gone. The 60-year-old grandpa dude who wears the knee-high socks and cargo shorts and always makes every scene about abortion or homeless veterans is funnier than me now. Any hoozle. One night my class went to an open mic together, and there's this new stand-up there. This guy. No, this thing. Who we'd never seen before. He went up later and murdered the whole room.
Oh, I'm so relieved you survived the carnage, caller. If the club, bar, what have you, needs a recommendation for a good crime scene cleanup, might I suggest tonight's sponsor, the Clean Crafty Crew. Your crew will ensure any crime scene is purified to white robe perfection. Is that some sort of ghost joke? That's cute. Give the Clean Crafty Crew a call today at 1-800-KK-CO. Oh, no. No. I see it now. Dana, let's cut this in post and please let's discuss vetting potential sponsors a little better in the future. I'm not mad, but Dana, this is your job. Listeners, I'm afraid I don't have any crime scene cleanup recommendations whatsoever at this time. Forgive me for the interruption, caller. Please continue.
Yes, and murdering at a stand-up set just means he was really, really funny.
Ah, I see. I misunderstood. It just seemed to dovetail so nicely with... Let's just put that behind us. Please, tell us what happened after the murdering, caller.
Yes, and I'm not proud of it, but I was super drunk, and even though he was definitely a man with a headshot, I thought it seemed like a good idea at the time. So I invited him back to my place.
Never be ashamed of fulfilling your sexual desires, caller. You are a modern woman with modern needs. Was he as good in the bedroom as he was on the stage?
Yes. And rather kinkier than I expected, which was fun. But then, the next morning I woke up and took to Twitter to compose my usual, highly retweetable, hilarious current event commentary, and nothing. And it was the morning that Trump said that thing. It should have been a bloodbath of witticisms. That's when I realized he and my funny were both gone. He took it.
Dry your tears, caller. Whoever he is, I can assure you he doesn't deserve them. Walk me through that night. I'm sure together we can find a solution to your missing humors.
Yes, and I want...
Sorry to interrupt, but I've noticed a pattern in your responses. You seem compelled to begin everything with yes and. Is this something we need to unpack?
Yes, and that's because yes and is the only thing I have left of my training. A basic level 1A amateur hour rule that in our advanced class usually only rears its pathetic head in the form of yes. And after we leave this 1940s Parisian picnic, I'm going to go perform some abortions with a group of homeless veterans. I'm leaning on the same crutch now as that guy. How is that guy even in the group still? Now that guy is probably somewhere with the rest of the class asking how I'm even in the group still. How am I supposed to live with myself if that guy is his...
Caller, I want you to find a paper bag, which we all have around our houses for exactly this purpose. Place it over your mouth and inhale and exhale its brown comforts. Have you found one?
Yes, and...
No.
Yeah.
Stop. You can do this. You don't have to be that person.
No, I don't have to be that person.
I'm proud of you. I knew you could do it. Now, let's figure out where your humors went. Tell me about this man.
I was so drunk, I'm honestly not even sure he was a man. I mean, I think he was, but I've had my share of one-nighters, and the only thing those soft boys took from me was, like, my underwear or the rest of my coconut water. This guy took, and, like, not to be dramatic here, the very essence of my inner me. Somehow. Like with his penis.
Speaking of his penis, caller, was his penis exceptionally large?
It was dark, and my brownout was in full swing by that point, but now that you mention it, he did say something about having to unwrap it from around his leg when I was taking his pants off. But I thought he was joking. He was one of those always-on guys.
How exhausting.
It was like he had reserves of hilarity he was drawing from. It was nuts. We were all supposed to have 5-minute sets, but he went on so long that he bumped the 3 women in the line after him. I tried to talk to one of the girls he bumped later, but she just walked right out the door, muttering to herself.
Interesting. I wonder if we could jump back to the penis for a moment. Was the penis exceptionally cold, like being made love to by a smooth ice dildo expertly sculpted in the frigid winds of a polar vortex?
Wait. He told me that was ice play. He said it was where you take an ice cube and rub it all over your enormous anaconda dick. He said, cold is the hot new thing in sex. I thought it was weird when my hush started to steam while we were doing it, but he just said, shh, this is normal. So I went with it and took a cranberry pill after. Now that I've said this out loud, I'm really hearing it.
Yes, I think you've come to the same conclusion that I have, caller. Based on everything you've told me, I'm afraid it sounds like your humors have been sexually abducted by an incubus.
That is exactly what I thought as well. Those things are a nuisance to society. First they destroy music, and now one is destroying my very high chance of getting on Saturday Night Live only 9 months after my first improv class.
I hear your devastation, and I validate it, but I encourage you to not give up hope. You're by no means the first woman to have her gift stolen by one of these vile creatures, nor will you be the last. However, your talentlessness can be temporary. You are more than just your humors.
But is there a way for me to get, my humors back? I would really prefer that it not involve me having to sleep with him again.
As a woman, you are in possession of powers in excess of simply the comedic and the other C word. All incubi can be defeated, and though the methods may differ, the end result must be the same. They must be pilloried on the altar of dignity. Humiliated. They must be humiliated. For this particular incubus, I recommend that you gather a coven absent of straight white men. All incubi take this form, and so none can be trusted. And attend your incubus next show. Have your sharpest, meanest witch heckle him so incessantly that he can't get through more than a minute of his tight 10. Ensure that he's followed in the lineup by the witch whose humors you most respect and admire. Then, as he hunches in shame over his craft beer at the bar, you must summon your inner Ashley Graham. In your most confident attire, sidle up to him, comfort, seduce. And just at the moment he thinks he's going to get a chance to steal even more of your power, lean over and whisper into his ear, "No thanks. I've had better." When the first tear falls from his eye and lands in his waiting beer, take it from his hand, drink it down, and saunter out with your witches. Your humor should be restored in 3 to 4 business days.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I can do that. That's it?
Yes, and then you have to ritualistically sacrifice him and bathe in his blood.
What?
No. The tear beer will do. I was just making a little improv joke. I have humors too. Please let me know how it goes, caller. I have faith in you, I believe in you, and I wish you the best of luck.